Hi everyone. So we're just gonna get underway now. So we were just leaving it a couple of minutes just because we had a few people having issues getting started. So for anyone that's just joined, apologies again for the error with the timings. And also I know that some of you had problems with the registration link as well. We did try and get that resolved as quickly as possible, but again, just apologies if it's caused you some inconvenience this morning. So first of all, congratulations on being successful in applying to deliver Make It Click. It's fantastic to have you on board, but it's been a really, really competitive funding round. So so it's really it's really great that we've been able to fund you. Um, so what we'll do today is we'll provide an overview of the Google.org project and how the Make It Click National Fund will work, an explanation of the learning pathway that's been developed and how to record learner activity that's taken place on the Digital Skills Directory, and also look at the evaluation aspect of the project, along with the full requirements of being a Make It Click funded centre. So so my name is Jonathan. I'm the Network Development Manager here at Good Things Foundation, and I'm the Grants Manager on the project. And I'm also joined by Bryony Heavens, who's the Network Development Officer as well. So Bryony, for the most part, will be your contact for the project. Um, for, as we progress. So Um, any technical issues that people are having with sound or video, please just post them in the chat panel. And my colleague Bryony will try and resolve those as we go on. But I'm just aware that we're a little bit tight on time today, so I'm just going to progress as much as I can. Okay, so currently there are 11.3 million people in the UK who lack one or more of the basic digital skills. And research shows that 7.4 million of these are deemed as limited users of the internet. And this new program of work with Google.org, which is Google.org funded, we have 30,000 people that we're wanting to help to improve their online confidence and achieve positive work outcomes. Um, this fund um, new for good things Foundation is the company making it click in the program. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to take you through the 4 stages. So the first stage is engagement, and that's the online and offline campaign that we're using to raise awareness of the learning pathway and signpost people to the support that's available at the online centres. And as I mentioned on the previous slide, that campaign is called Make It Click. We then have the diagnosis element, which is part 2, and this is the part that we're really passionate about. Online centres being fantastic at, and that's how when people arrive at your centre, you're helping them to determine what skills they already have and what skills they need in order to improve their employment prospects. And this is something that we know that online centres um, are really good at. But for anybody that wants to measure the impact of the project when we show you the websites and the tools that we're making available. So that's all just coming later in the webinar. So as you'll have seen from the grant description, this round of Make It Click, which was previously called Everyone Thrives Online, and which some of you will have applied under that name, runs from Wednesday the 1st of January 2020 to Thursday the 31st of December 2020. So you have a full 12-month calendar year to deliver this project. Each of you now, following the notification email, should know which contract you're delivering, whether it's the 1,250, 2,500, 5,000 or £10,000 contract. And just in case you didn't see them in the grant description, the payment dates are also there. So at the start of January, we'll be making the first 25% payment. And then by April, July, and October, they're the following payment months as well. And we try and make payments within the first 2 weeks. But as and when we need to make them later in the month, we'll communicate that on an individual basis. So just to give you an example of the payment criteria and what's going to be expected of grantees to reach each of those payments, just taking the £5,000 contract to support the 125 learners between January and December. So in January, we'll be giving you the 25% of your total contract, and because that's the start of the project, you won't need to have done any delivery to achieve that. But by the second payment date in April, we'll be needing 30% of the contract completed. So on the £5,000 contract, that would be 37 learners. Then by July, so in another 3 months' time, we'd be looking for 60% of the contract to be completed. So on this particular £5,000 contract, that's 75 learners. And then in October, 2 months before the delivery cut-off, we'd be looking for you to be at 90%. And then we would pay you the remaining 25% in kind, when then that gives you 2 months after the final payment date to deliver the rest of the project by the end of December. Um,
Hello everyone. So in this section, I can go through logging learner progress. And when we mentioned the targets about how many learners would be supported over the course of the project, this, when we mention a completion, that's what the minimum requirements would be for the learner to be counted towards that target. So the first step would be that a learner registers or logs in to the digital skills directory. If They already have registered for Learn My Way. They don't need to create a new account. They can use those existing details. If they've never registered for Learn My Way, they can register on the Digital Skills Directory, and they'll then have also they can then log into Learn My Way or Digital Skills Directory using their new login details. The learner would then move to the now. Great, I think that should be showing properly now. So The first thing I'll show you is the Digital Skills Directory. So that's the platform that's designed specifically for this project. You can find it, so we'll share a link to it, so you can favourite it and save it. But you can also just find it if you ever lose that link by searching for Digital Skills Directory, and it's the first one that comes up. So if a learner already has a Learn My Way login, then they can go to sign in and use those credentials. And yourselves as tutors, you'll be able to use your same login details if you want to go in and have a look around too. If they've never used any of our platforms before, then they can press register. It takes them to Learn My Way to register, but then it brings them back to the Digital Skills Directory again. As I've already used Learn My Way, I can just go to sign in. Okay. So the Digital Skills Directory is broken down into 6 different topics. So we've got email, documents, spreadsheets, presentations, social media, and online security. So earlier when we were mentioning learners using 2 resources, we actually mean, so we called these topics and within each topic there's different resources. So within email we've got 11 resources here. So it could be that a learner uses Introduction to Email for 20 minutes, and then how to add an attachment to your emails with Gmail for another 20 minutes, and then that could be logged on their form. The resources, as you can see, come from lots of different places around the web. There are a couple that lead back to Learn My Way, for example, Introduction to Email. But then there's others that are produced by different organisations. So we've got one here by Grammarly, Microsoft Office, and so on. When a learner clicks on a resource, it will give them a warning that they're going to be going to a new page, and it opens in a new tab or window. So for example, if I go to Introduction to Email, I say yes, continue, it opens here. The learner can then use the course, and then they can just close it here when they're finished. And then they can go back to the original page they came from. I'll show you another example. So this one is How to Write the Perfect Email by Grammarly. So there's different resources. Some are very interactive and some are offering advice, or some are videos. It's a real mixture. In documents, we've got some here. We'll send out a link to the Digital Skills Directory after this so that you can familiarise yourselves with it. I can now show you how to log learner progress on this. So if you've sat with someone and they've gone through a few resources and you come to the point where you want to log it, you'd then go to Learn My Way and go to your Learner Management tab, which is being a bit slow today. There we go. You then find your learner in the list, so you can search for them by name. Luckily, the example I'm going to use is right at the top of the list. You click on their name, you can then go to capture it, and then there is a list of different forms for different projects, but the one we want is Everyone Thrives Online. That was the old name for this project. Obviously, it's now changed to Make It Click, and the name of this form will be changing in the next couple of months. But for the meantime, it all goes to the same place. So we choose Everyone Thrives Online from the list. It just asks you to tick that the person has been informed. The details will be stored in line with the privacy policy. So this is the initial questions that the learner would need to so either fill in themselves or let you know what they would like to choose for each of these questions. So it's really the sort of questions are assessing how comfortable they feel with different digital skills at the beginning. If you'd like to download the survey, which are all these questions here, you can download it as a PDF. So it would be possible to print and fill in offline with a learner. You would then need to come back to Learn My Way and fill in the responses here, but that's just another option that exists. So say I fill in some of these here, it will then allow me to add the resources that the learner has been using. Okay, so here I would just click add resource, and then I would put in the name of the resource that the learner's used. It's really helpful if you can put in the exact name as it appears on the digital skills directory. For example, how to send an email with Gmail would be one example. So I'll put that in here. The date and then the time spent on it. And then I can press save. And then I can add another resource onto there at any point. So I can either do it at
Let's just it to happen. So really unfortunate that it's happened during a webinar. Can I just check that we look like we're back online to you, that you can hear us and that you can see the Learn My Way screen? Okay, so we're going to go back a couple of steps right to the start of the Capture It form. Does that seem to be where we got up to? Sorry, it's a little bit of guesswork because we couldn't see when we actually dropped out. Okay, I'm just going to hand back over to Brian here, and we'll start from the beginning with the recording the resources on the Capture It, and yeah, that's we'll go from there. And again, sorry if this has caused any confusion, but we'll do what we can for now, and hopefully the internet won't drop back out.
Great. All right. Thanks, guys. So hopefully you've seen the digital skills directory, and as I said, we will be sending a link out so you can explore it in your own time. But I think we covered that there's different resources within each topic. And when it comes to recording resources that the learners have used, we would go to Learn My Way and your Learner Management tab. So I'll just demonstrate that one. So you can find the learner by searching for their name in here. So I'm going to use one of these people as an example. You then go to Capture It. It brings up a drop down of different project forms. This one is called Everyone Thrives Online, which used to be the old name for the project. This will be changing to make it click soon, and we'll let you know when it does, but for the meantime it's fine to use this one. You then just confirm that the person's been informed that the details will be stored in line with privacy policy. And then it's got some questions about how comfortable the learner feels with using different digital skills at the beginning, so before they used the resources, or at the beginning of sort of engaging with the digital skills directory. So I can just fill in some of these as an example. As you can see, a lot of the questions are just to do with different digital skills, like how comfortable they feel creating a document using word processing programs, and so on. If you needed to, you could download this learner survey to a PDF version. So if you needed to print it and fill it in with a learner offline, then that would be possible. You would then have to go back to this section and fill in their responses, but it's just another option that you have there. And then this is an important bit here where you'd add the digital skills directory resources that the learner has used. So it's really helpful if you can put the exact name of the resource from the digital skills directory in this box. So an example would be if they've used how to send an email with Gmail, you can just put in the exact wording or copy and paste the name. You then fill in the date that they used the resource on and the time spent on it. So they might have spent 20 minutes on this one, and then you can save. So now your Capture It form is saved. You can then leave at that point and then come back and select it in the same way and add more resources. So if a learner uses one resource one day and another day, that's fine. Or if they've used a couple of different resources on the same day, you can fill them in all at once. So another example would be English for emails for 30 minutes. It doesn't matter if the resources are from the same topic or different topics. It's fine if they, it's up to the learner, I suppose, and the skills that they'd like to work on or they feel would be useful to work on. So they could do one resource from the email topic and one resource from spreadsheet topic, and that would be fine. So this learner now would be recorded as a completion towards your target. So they've used over 2 resources. The time is over 30 minutes in total, and it's been recorded on this Capture It form here. Does anyone have any questions at this stage?
pause for just a minute. Okay, so as well as recording learner progress and completions, there's a few additional requirements of the funding contract as well. So some of these have changed slightly from when you first saw the grant description. So I'm just going to explain what's expected for you on here. An additional requirement of the project is that we can get some case studies from you to really understand more about the outcomes of the project. And all that we'd ask here is as and when you highlight learners that have a really good story to tell, or you feel would really like to share their story on our social media and on our news page. and maybe even back with Google Docs.org. Please do contact us and let us know, because we'd be really interested um, in scoping those out with you. We've already had some amazing stories from current grant rounds that we've heard. So of course we're always interested in hearing more. There's quite a few different questions from people.